Hello there, I am George Stevenson. As you may know, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway is reaching completion, and we were just trying to figure out what we should use to try and run the railway. And I see some railway directors have games, so what are all your opinions? I think we should just stick to the normal, well, horse and carts with winches, you know. I do respect that opinion. But I think we need something more powerful, something like steam engines. And I do strongly recommend trying to use steam engines, as they do seem to be the most powerful thing we have right now. Well, I recommend having them be pulled by winches and they just be static models. Again, I do respect that opinion, but without them actually having proper steam, we might never get out of this age, and we might always be stuck at the same speed of travel we always go at. I do still strongly advise we try and use steam power. Then we'll see. All the railway directors all thought up of a plan. We will agree to your offer, as long as there's a trial held to see if steam locomotives are better than horse and cart. If that's so, then it shall be done. Do tell some of the builders that they can build their locomotives for the trials. So father, here are the drawings for the engines that you were wanting. And here are the drawings. Here we have Brandreth's Cyclopedes, Ericsson and Braithwaite's Novelty, Birstall's Perseverance, and Hackworth's Sans Pareil. Son, I am entering the competition. So, here are the plans. This engine will change the world. It's made especially for these trials. It's made to win at these trials. This engine is the rocket. So what do I put down? I suppose Stevenson's rocket. So Stevenson's rocket. Right, time to show this engine to the public. Since a lot of the other people do know about the other engines. No. This engine must be built in secret. Okay, father. This, father, is the rocket. So father, what do you think? It's perfect, and we'll win us the trials, that £500 and the right to build the locomotives for my own railway. That's good, that's good. Oh, hello there. Ah! Oh, I didn't mean to startle you. I'm Rocket. Who are you both? I'm Robert Stevenson, and I'm George Stevenson. Oh, hello, I'm Rocket. I've been built to win the Rainhill trials, to win the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Am I correct? Yes, how are you so knowledgeable when you've just been built? Oh, you see, it's a bit complicated to explain. And how are you even talking? It's quite complicated. I'll have to tell you another time, but let's get to the trials, eh? If you say so, Rocket. Come on, father, we got to head to the trials. Okay, son. And they got onto Rocket and steamed away. George Stevenson got off Rocket and walked up to the platform as Rocket steamed in. He was there with 3 of the steam engines. Hello there, I'm Rocket. And I'm Novelty. I'm the Perseverance. And I'm Sans Pareil. But it's spelled Sans Pareil. Or Pareil. I'm an engine built I'm a lightweight engine built for speed, and I'm a big boiler on wheels. Nice to meet you all, said Rocket. Then Robert Stevenson got off Rocket and onto the platform. These are the judges, he announced. Our judges are John Urpeth Vastrick. He's a locomotive engineer from Stallbridge. Next up is Nicholas Woods, a mining engineer from Killingworth with considerable locomotive design experience, and John Kennedy, a Manchester cotton spinner and a major proponent of the railway. And these are our judges. They'll be judging the speeds your engines can go at and how much fuel you consume. And there is a weight limit, so do be aware of that. They will explain the rules. The rules are explained to judges. The weight of the locomotive engine with its full complement of water in the boiler shall be assured with the weighting machine by 8 o'clock in the morning, and load assigned to it shall be 3 times the weight thereof. The water in the boiler shall be cold, and there shall be no fuel in the fireplace. As much fuel shall be weighed, and as much water shall be measured and delivered into the tender carriage, as the owner of the engine may consider sufficient for the supply of engine for a journey for 35 miles. The fire in the boiler shall then be lighted, and then the quantity of the fuel consumed for getting up steam shall be determined and the time noted. The tender carriage with fuel and water shall be considered to be and taken as part of the loads assigned to the engine. Those engines which carry their own fuel and water shall be allowed to proportionate deduction from their load according to the weight of the engine. The engine with carriages attached to it shall be ran by hand up to the starting post. As soon as steam is got up to 50 pounds per square inch, the engine shall set off upon its journey. The distance the engine shall perform each trip will be 1 mile and 3/4 each way, including 1/8 of a mile. At each end, for getting up the speed and stopping for the train, by this means the engine with its load shall travel 1.5 miles each way at full speed. The engines shall make 10 trips, which will be equal to a journey of 35 miles, whereof shall be performed at full speed, and the average rate of travelling shall not be less than 10 miles per hour. As soon as the engine has performed this task, which would be equal to travelling from Liverpool to Manchester, there shall be a fresh supply of fuel and water delivered to here, and as soon as she can be got ready to set out again, she shall go up to the starting post and make 10 trips more, which will be equal to the journey from Manchester back again to Liverpool. The time performing every trip will be accurately noted, as well as the time occupied to get in ready and to set the journey. The gauge of the railway must be 4 feet. All those rules seem good, said Rocket. They are, said Novelty. Say, I heard there was an engine that was meant to compete here, called Cyclopes. What happened to him? Oh, said George Stevenson. About that, we disqualified him due to him not being steam powered, but they have had plans to try and make him, in case you steam locomotives cannot prove well enough. Ah, okay, said Rocket. But don't worry, because... Well, don't worry, said Rocket, because we are going to be successful, isn't that right? Yes, it is, said Novelty. Of course, said Sonpere. We are the engines of the future, and the things of the future, said Perseverance. So, let's get to work.